What I'd like to talk to you about very quickly today is my new book, Spike. Over the last 30 years in business, what I've realized really strongly and really fundamentally, we are fixated with everyone's weaknesses. When I started out in business, we called them weaknesses. In the early part of the century, they were areas for improvement. Then they became areas for development. Today, they are limitations. We are obsessed with each other's limitations. Johnny goes to school for the first time at the age of 4. At the first parent-teachers evening, proud parents turn up. Teachers give them the feedback on Johnny. Johnny's not so good at spelling, so we're going to give him 4 extra spelling classes. How different would the world be if they said, Johnny was fantastic at arithmetic? We're going to give him 4 extra arithmetic classes. So this is Spike. I'm doing a talk at the Helix Auditorium in Dublin in Ireland. It's a little darker than it is in here. The first tip on public speaking, find someone sitting in the middle of the audience who's smiling at you as you are with me now, affirming, maybe even laughing at your hopeless jokes, but they're fully engaged and they're with you. Find someone at the right-hand side, someone at the left-hand side. As you look at them and they affirm with you, it gives you energy. It makes you smile. It's so much easier to listen to someone who's smiling than someone who's frowning. And if you're the speaker and you frown, the audience will frown with you. In front of me is this fabulous attendee. She's smiling, she's affirming, she's friendly, she's energized, she's engaged. I'm starting to build up some speed when the door to the right of me opens. In walks a woman with a guide dog. The guide dog doesn't come and guide her into the auditorium. It guides her to the edge of the stage. She sits down next to me. Jogged me for a bit, but I carried on. As I carried on, the dog at her feet growled very quietly. Instantly, my great attendee has a dog at her feet who growls back. She's blind. I didn't know. She's looking at me, she's engaging with me. She was fantastic. I'm the speaker before lunch. As we draw towards lunch, I get a round of applause, everyone's filing out. My great attendee stands up, beckons me towards her, puts her arm up. I put my arm underneath hers, she holds it securely. We walk outside and we go to lunch. I do what we all would do. It's a buffet lunch. I get a tray, I hand her a tray. I say to her, there's broccoli, there's salmon, she said, no. I'll have the corn. I'll have the spinach. Shocked me. Her sense of smell was so acute, she could sense everything. What did I see first? What did that do to my judgment? What did that do to my view of her? We sat down and had the most amazing conversation. She'd taken the train up from Cork, a couple hundred miles up to Dublin, on her own, with her dog. She does it all the time. She'll be going back to Cork on the train with her dog. I asked her, what's your biggest frustration? She said, I work for the Irish Guide Dog Association. I'm trying to get another job. I can do more. Every time I send my CV off, I always get on the short list. I always get called in for the interview. As soon as they see me, what's the first thing they say? If only we could afford the changes to the physical infrastructure to accommodate your lack of sight. She said, nobody gives me a chance. I just want a chance to show what I can do. How different would the world be if we focused on people's strengths, not their weaknesses? How wonderful would our world be if everybody went into work every day doing the things they're fantastic at? We might just be in a world where everyone would do a job that they loved, and we'd never work a day in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spike. I hope to see you sometime in the future. Thank you very much indeed.